Detaching from people and situations is a concept closely aligned with certain Stoic principles. Stoicism, an ancient Greek philosophy, teaches individuals to cultivate inner tranquility by accepting the things they cannot change and focusing on what they can control. In this video, we will delve into the teachings of Stoicism, examining how each principle can be applied to the practical steps for detaching from people and situations. First, step away from the person temporarily. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of maintaining inner tranquility, regardless of external circumstances. Stepping away temporarily is not an act of avoidance, but a strategic move to gain perspective and prevent our emotions from clouding our judgment. Stoic philosopher Seneca, in his letters to Lucilius, emphasized the need for retreat to understand oneself better, writing, "Retire into yourself as much as you can. Associate with people who are likely to improve you. Welcome those whom you are capable of improving." This means taking a break to reflect on the situation and your emotional responses. Stoicism teaches that our reactions are within our control, and by stepping away, we create the space to choose our responses consciously. Allow yourself solitude to contemplate your feelings and thoughts, using this time to assess the situation objectively without the immediate influence of emotions. Seneca's words echo the Stoic belief that self-awareness is the first step toward mastery over one's emotions. Imagine you're in a busy city and everything around you is loud and chaotic. Stoicism suggests that when dealing with tough feelings or a confusing situation involving someone, it might be a good idea to take a break. It's like finding a quiet spot in the middle of the city to catch your breath. Think of this break as pressing a pause button, not about avoiding the situation forever, but giving yourself a chance to think without the noise of emotions buzzing around. The ancient Stoic philosophers often talked about finding a quiet place within ourselves. Seneca once said, "Retreat into yourself as much as you can." It's like taking a step back to get a clearer view. In simple terms, it's like taking a time out in a game. You don't leave the game forever. You just step away for a moment to clear your head. Stoicism teaches us that our feelings are like the weather. They come and go. By stepping away, you're giving yourself a chance to let the storm in your head settle down, making it easier to figure out what to do next. Remember, this step isn't about running away. It's about pressing pause to find a quiet space in the middle of life's noise. Stoicism suggests stepping away because it believes that when things get tough, our emotions can act like a storm that clouds our judgment. By taking a break, we can let the storm pass and see things more clearly. The Stoic idea is that in this quiet space, we can make choices based on reason, rather than just how we're feeling at that moment. Find a quiet place or a quiet time, like taking a short walk, sitting in a park, or just sitting alone in your room. The key is to create a little space for yourself where you can think without distractions. Remember, it's not about escaping forever. It's about creating a moment of peace to figure things out. Second, think about whether you should distance yourself. This step involves careful consideration of whether distancing is a rational and virtuous choice. Stoicism encourages us to align our actions with reason and virtue, emphasizing the pursuit of eudaimonia or flourishing through moral excellence. The Stoic concept of oikeiosis, the idea of appropriation or familiarization, suggests that our natural inclination is toward virtue and social harmony. However, not all relationships contribute positively to our moral growth. The Stoics, like Epictetus, urged us to evaluate our associations and choose wisely. While we cannot choose our external circumstances, we can always choose how we respond to them. Reflect on the nature of your relationship with the person in question. Are they conducive to your moral development and well-being? Stoicism teaches that distancing from toxic or harmful relationships is not a sign of weakness but a manifestation of wisdom and virtue. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher born a slave, exemplified this teaching through his emphasis on inner freedom, irrespective of external constraints. Imagine you're hanging out with friends and one of them starts doing things that make you feel not so great. Stoicism suggests that, just like choosing good friends, you should think about whether it's a good idea to keep hanging out with this person. In everyday words, it's like asking yourself, is being around this person helping me grow and be happy, or is it making things harder? The Stoic philosophers would call this thinking about whether it's a wise move. Stoicism is big on choosing things that make us better people. So the idea here is to think about whether the person you're dealing with is making your life better or more challenging. The Stoics believe that good friends are like sunshine for our souls, helping us become better versions of ourselves. Imagine your friend is like a plant. If you water it, it grows and becomes healthy, but if you don't, it might not do so well. Similarly, think about whether the people around you are like water to your plant or more like a thunderstorm. If being around someone is like sunshine, that's awesome. If not, Stoicism says it might be wise to consider creating a bit of distance. Remember, it's not about being mean or avoiding problems. It's about making choices that are good for your heart and your head. Stoicism is all about making life a bit more awesome, and that includes the people we choose to be around. Third, have a chat with someone you rely on. Despite its focus on self-discipline and inner strength, Stoicism does not advocate isolation. Human beings are social creatures, and seeking guidance and support from trusted individuals is integral to the Stoic path. This step encourages us to engage in open and honest communication with someone we rely on, aligning with the Stoic idea of the philosophical friend, someone with whom you can share your thoughts, fears, and struggles. Seneca, in his letters, wrote extensively about the importance of friendship and the role it plays in our pursuit of virtue. He stated, "The greatest blessing that can be bestowed upon a man, next to that of a sound judgment and a modest temper, is that of a friendly acquaintance, a man he may consult just as he would a mirror." Share your thoughts and emotions with a trusted friend, someone who embodies the Stoic values of wisdom and virtue. This conversation serves not only as a cathartic release, but also as an opportunity to gain valuable insights and perspectives. Stoicism teaches that by opening up to others, we strengthen our social bonds and foster a sense of community, essential elements in our journey toward detachment. Imagine you're dealing with tough feelings or a confusing situation. Stoicism suggests that talking to someone you trust can be super helpful. Think of this person as your wise game buddy who can give you good tips. Stoicism is big on the idea that we're not meant to face everything alone, just like superheroes have sidekicks. The Stoic philosophers believe that sharing our struggles with a friend is like having a secret weapon against life's challenges. Think of someone you really trust, like a friend, family member, or even a teacher. It's like picking your game buddy when things get tricky. Share what's going on with them. It could be in person, over the phone, or even through messages. Whatever feels right. Remember, you're not burdening them. You're sharing the load. Just like a good game buddy, they might offer insights or perspectives you haven't thought about. Stoicism teaches that facing challenges with a friend by your side can make the journey a lot less bumpy. Fourth, establish limits for your feelings. Stoic philosophy places a strong emphasis on understanding and managing our emotions. Rather than suppressing feelings, Stoicism encourages us to recognize and acknowledge them, while maintaining rational control. Establishing limits for our feelings does not mean becoming indifferent or unfeeling, but rather exercising control over the intensity and duration of our emotional responses. The Stoic concept of apatheia, often misunderstood as complete emotional detachment, actually refers to a state of tranquility achieved by mastering one's emotional responses. Epictetus articulated this concept by stating, "We have the power to suspend the action of the passions, or at least to resist our inclinations." Consider the Stoic practice of negative visualization, where one contemplates potential challenges and losses to prepare for them mentally. By establishing limits for our feelings, we can approach situations with a measured and balanced perspective, preventing emotions from overpowering reason. Imagine your feelings are like colorful blocks that sometimes pile up and become a big tower. Stoicism suggests it's a good idea to set some rules for how high your tower of feelings can go. In simpler terms, when you're dealing with tough stuff, Stoicism says it's cool to feel your feelings, but also smart to make sure they don't tower over everything and make everything shaky. The Stoic philosophers talked about finding a balance, like building a tower that's tall enough to be interesting but not so tall that it falls over. Imagine your feelings are blocks of different colors, happy, sad, angry, and so on. It's like saying, "Hey, I'm okay with feeling these emotions, but I don't want them to take over everything." So you might decide that when things get tough, you'll let yourself feel those emotions but also have a limit, like a tower that doesn't go too high. Setting limits means you're in charge, like a builder deciding how high to make a tower. It's about being okay with your feelings but also making sure they don't knock everything down. Stoicism teaches us that finding this balance is like creating a sturdy tower that can withstand the challenges of the emotional game. Fifth, think about what might happen if you distance yourself from this person. This step involves a thoughtful consideration of the potential consequences of distancing oneself from a particular person. Stoicism teaches us to engage in foresight, assessing the long-term implications of our actions. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on philosophy, personal growth, and living wisely.